Michael McHenry joins us. He's in the hub, the fort. We'll talk about what do you think of this Cruz guy, right?
Yeah, he's our creative player. He's more or less a PlayStation model player. Guy's been really impressive. Yesterday he did something really, really neat. This is StatCast brought to you by Google Cloud. Look at this red line. That's the curveball. It's about 74 miles an hour. That's a 93 mile an hour fastball. This is the double. He hit 109. The other one is the fastball. He hit 108 for a triple. But look at that. Look at this ability. He gets set early. He's landing soft. The leg right here, he's sinking into, and he creates that L. You'll see why that's important in a minute. Look at that contact out in front. And look at the leverage. He's so big. He's not normal. He can get so much more leverage than most. And then this fastball sinker running off his hip. You guys were just talking about it. He comes really, really good right here. He pulls his hands in tight. Look how that L is. I just said it. But the contact point is way back here, and he's able to shoot it to left center. And because he's not a normal human being, he's able to drive that ball into the gap.
He's unlike anything we've seen. We're going to take another look. The fort at the hub talking about the leverage of Oneil Cruz as Brendan Donovan struck out looking his first time against JT Brubaker. Show us again, Michael.
So that last swing, he obviously covered 77. This is a 94 mile an hour fastball. He gets in tight. And a big guy usually has a hard time getting his hands inside the ball, works in and uses that top hand. It punches that ball out into left center. Such a good job staying really tight in that window to be able to even do that. His approach has been really good. He hasn't been chasing. He's getting set early on that backside, which is allowing him to land soft and let that barrel play. And if that barrel's playing, watch out.
That's a game changer when guys can start to do that, especially with 2 strikes. They can cover that inside corner and get the barrel to it like that. Ooh. That makes it really, really difficult to pitch to.
Donovan flies out to deep left and brings up Corey Dickerson. It is so unique, isn't it, to a guy that big a frame who can handle those pitches like that with the long levers?
Yeah, I think so. You want to jump in there?
No. I'll say the hitting side of it, and I was going to ask you a question, Matty. It's impressive to me that he's got so much elasticity and mobility to pull in, but also cover that 77 mile an hour breaking ball that he did earlier today for the base hit. He almost went all the way to the ground. I mean, he's literally golfing that out into left field, and then the breaking ball he hit 109 was probably 6 to 8 inches off the ground. Matty, what do you do with that? Because that's a huge throttle. That's 10 feet difference when you think about what he's trying to cover on those speeds.
Well, I think for me as a pitcher, you kind of got to get them out of their comfort zone. So there's a couple of things you can do. You can, first and foremost, you got to get ahead of guys to give yourself the counts to do this, but maybe try to make them uncomfortable, brush them back, seesaw guys. And there's a couple of ways to seesaw guys. Wow, look at the spin on that baseball.
That was that soft serve earlier.
Yeah. There's a couple of ways that I think you can seesaw guys. You can either go hard, soft, hard, soft, hard, soft, back and forth, or you can go in, out, and change your pitches, kind of give them different looks and try to get them caught in between somewhere. But, like Fort was talking about, Oneil Cruz has shown these last couple of days, he's been so good at being soft through his legs, where he's able to cover that out in front of him really well. And that's something we didn't see out of him the first couple of months that he was up here at this level.
One of the things I guess I'll ask both of you guys too is we actually talked to Derek Shelton about this on his pregame radio show the other day, wondering because Cruz can cover beyond a normal hitter, and you talked about that for just a moment ago. He can do things that most humans can't. You wonder, is that a danger? Does he have to be careful of that? Because then he thinks he is Superman, and maybe he starts to expand the zone beyond even what he can do.
Yeah, us mere mortals can't do what superhumans can. Yes, he's very impressive. And yeah, he's got to rein it back and own the zone. I mean, it's really hard when you get to the big leagues. These guys are throwing harder than they were in AAA. They're breaking stuff's a lot sharper, and they're more consistent with their command. So you have to own the analytical department, the game planning that you get every single day. Own that, understand it, and then how do you feel, and then just When you walk in that box, trust it. So we saw earlier on today, he had a breaking ball off the ground. It's a backdoor breaking ball coming into him, and he's able to just continue to work into his legs, staying on the ground, and flick that ball. Even if it's soft serve, he runs so well. A lot of those are going to turn into hits, even if they short hop to shortstop.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's part of the natural maturation of a new player young player coming to the big leagues, is that discipline. That's kind of the next level. Learning how to just own the strike zone and don't get greedy. Understand it's really a team game, and if they're not going to give me a pitch to hit, don't chase something. And because the percentage of me getting myself out if I swing outside of the strike zone goes up exponentially. So make them come into the strike zone, get a pitch you can handle, and if you don't get one, jog down to first base. And especially a guy like O'Neal Cruz, he's in scoring position from first base with the way he runs. So don't be afraid to pass on the baton to the next guy.
Goldschmidt, good work there. Brubaker working Goldschmidt behind in the count, got it to 3-2 in the fly out. Fort will check back with Michael McHenry back at the hub as he breaks things down for us like only the Fort can.